Have you ever felt like your parents just don't understand you, no matter how hard you try to explain? Or maybe you're a parent who feels like your teenager never listens, even when you're giving the best advice you can. So, what's really going on here? Why is there this invisible distance between parents and teenagers? Most parents believe that giving advice is enough. They think if I tell my child what's right, they will follow it. But teenagers don't learn from advice. They learn from observation. They don't listen to your words as much as you think. They watch your actions. Imagine a parent tells their child don't waste time on social media, but that same parent spends hours scrolling every day. Now the teenager is confused because the message is not clear. The words say one thing, but the behavior says something else. And in the teenager brain, behavior is always louder than words. To really understand teenagers, we need to understand their brain. A teenager's brain emotional system develops faster than their logical system. That means they feel things very deeply before they can fully control or understand those feelings. So when a teenager gets angry, it's not just a small reaction, it feels like a strong wave crashing into them all at once. In that moment, logic is not in control, emotion is. And that's why sometimes teenagers say things they don't really mean or react in ways that seem too much, but for them it doesn't feel too much. It feels real. Think about a moment when you felt very upset, maybe you were angry or deeply sad. Did it feel calm and controlled? Or did it feel like something inside you just took over? Now imagine feeling that, but stronger. That's what many teenagers experience. So when a parent reacts with anger in that moment, it's like adding another wave on top of an already powerful storm. So what is the right response? The answer is simple but not easy. Stay calm. When you stay calm, you become a safe space. And when a teenager feels safe, their emotional wave slowly passes. But if you react with shouting or anger, something different happens. The situation changes. It's no longer about the teenager's feelings. Now it's about conflict. The teenager stops thinking, maybe I overreacted, and start thinking, my parent doesn't understand me. Sometimes the problem is not the teenager, it's the belief we carry as adults. For example, some parents believe that success only means good grades. So when your child gets a low score, they see it as failure. But the world has changed. Today, success is not only about school marks, it's about skills, creativity, communication, and emotional intelligence. When we force old beliefs into a new world, we create pressure that teenagers cannot handle. Imagine a teenager who loves art, but their parent believes art is not a real future. So the teenager is pushed towards something they don't love. Over time, they lose motivation, not because they are lazy, but because they feel unseen. Another big problem is assumptions. We often think we know what's going on without really asking. Like a teenager comes home quiet, instead of asking gently, the parent immediately think they're hiding something, so they react with suspicions. But the truth could be very different. Maybe the teenager had a hard day. Maybe they are just tired. Our assumptions can create problems that were never there. Let's talk about something very important, discipline with punishment. When a teenager gets a bad grade, many parents take away their phone. They believe this will motivate the child, but what actually happens? The teenager feels controlled, not understood. Punishment creates fear, but guidance creates growth. If a teenager is struggling, they don't need more pressure, they need support. They need someone who says, I'm here to understand you. Listening is one of the most powerful tools in parenting, not just hearing words, but truly listening. When a teenager feels heard, something changes. They become calmer, more open, more willing to share, and slowly trust begins to grow. So maybe the real question is not why don't teenagers listen? Maybe the real question is, are we creating a space where they feel safe to be understood? Because at the end of the day, teenagers are not trying to be difficult. They are trying to figure themselves out. And in that journey, they need patience, not pressure. So next time emotions rise like a wave, don't fight it. Don't try to control it. Be the calm in the storm. Because calm parents don't just solve problems. To raise emotionally strong humans and tell me, when was the last time you felt truly heard?